What's going on, everybody? Jason here, and today we're going to be talking about the best subcompact crossover SUVs for 2022. And if you're in the market for a subcompact crossover, well, in today's video, I'm going to be covering the 5 best ones that you can pick up for 2022. And the way that I chose these 5 subcompact crossovers is through consumer reports, reputable websites, and just speaking to friends and colleagues that are within the industry. Also, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Here, I typically do car reviews, but with this video, I'm trying something different. So if you end up liking it, please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button, as it does help out the channel and with the YouTube algorithm. With that being said, let's jump right into the 5 best subcompact crossover SUVs for 2022. These are in no particular order, but the first one on the list is the 2022 Mazda CX-30. Now, when it comes to Mazdas, the quality has definitely improved over the past few years, and when looking at some of the consumer reports, the CX-30 is definitely a great subcompact crossover SUV that you should put on your list. Coming to the pros and cons of the Mazda CX-30, starting with the pros, you have nice interior designing, some great standard safety features, and an overall good driving experience. You also can't forget about the striking exterior looks. And when it comes to the cons for the Mazda CX-30, if you're someone who really cares about your rear passengers, well, they may not be happy with you, because with the CX-30, the rear passenger space is not particularly generous. Now, moving on to the Mazda CX-30's fuel economy, drivetrain, and the engine, you have the option of getting 2 different engine types. So with the Mazda CX-30 GX, you're going to be getting the Skyactiv 2-liter engine, whereas with the GS and the GT trims, you'll be getting the Skyactiv 2.5-liter engine. And as for the fuel economy, these give you up to 7.7 liters per 100 kilometers of highway driving. Like I was mentioning, the striking looks of the Mazda CX-30, this is shown across the rest of Mazda's lineup and has the classic lines, surfaces, and the edges. Now, to some people, this may be a bad thing or even look dull, but I think it still plays its part to stand out amongst the rest of them. Now, for the interior on the CX-30, it does feel a little bit more premium, and it doesn't feel too clustered, because even for your buttons and toggles, they actually feel kind of sturdy, because in some vehicles you'll just have a ton of buttons and plastic pieces that just feel like they're going to break any minute. So Mazda's done a really good job when it comes to that. As for the cost of the Mazda CX-30, here in Canada, it starts off from $26,100 all the way up to $34,500. Now, this is what just shows on the Mazda website, and this of course will depend on the dealer prices, discounts, and all of that. And if you're not a fan of the Mazda CX-30, then you can also check out the competitors, which is the Honda HR-V, Kia Seltos, and the Hyundai Kona. Speaking of the Hyundai Kona, this is the next one on the list. So for the 2022 Hyundai Kona, if you haven't seen the Hyundai vehicles, Hyundai is another manufacturer that has made the styling of their vehicles definitely stand out. And if you're in it for mainly just the looks, then the Hyundai Kona should be a must-have on your list. And as for the pros and cons when it comes to the Hyundai Kona, starting with the pros, this is a refreshed and redefined look for the Hyundai Kona. Just like many of the other SUVs out there, you have the option of either getting front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. And with the updated exterior, you'll also have the updated interior, which looks really nice. Now, for the cons on the Kona, you'll find it being a bit tighter in the cargo area and even in the rear seating as well. And with the Hyundai Kona's fuel economy, drivetrain, and the engine, you have the option of getting 2 different engine types. So with the Hyundai Kona Essential and Preferred, you are going to be getting the 2-liter engine, where with the N-Line trim, you are going to get the 1.6-liter turbo engine. And for your fuel economy, this is going to give you 8 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 6.6 liters per 100 kilometers for highway driving, with a combined fuel economy of 7.4 liters per 100 kilometers. On the interior of the Hyundai Kona, it's a pretty simple, clean, and easy to navigate interior, especially when it comes to how everything is laid out. You can also get some really great available options that can make the Kona favorable to buy. As for the cost when it comes to the Hyundai Kona, here in Canada, it starts from $24,055 all the way up to $30,155. And like I mentioned before, this will depend on the dealer prices, discounts, and all of that. If you're not a fan of the Hyundai Kona, then you can also check out its competitors, which is the Chevrolet Trailblazer, Honda HR-V, Jeep Renegade, and the Toyota CHR. Next on the list is the 2022 Volkswagen Taos. Now, consumers have been waiting for a while before Volkswagen decided to bring this out. But now that it's here, this adds to many people's wish list. Jumping into the pros and cons for the Volkswagen Taos. Starting with the pros, you do get really nice exterior styling along with the interior as well. It's also one of the more spacious in the segment, so if you're looking for a more open subcompact SUV, this may be for you. Now for the cons for the Taos, if you're only looking for the entry-level trim but you want to have those nice safety features, you might be out of luck because you're gonna have to step it up to the next trim in order to get a little bit more safety features. But if even that's not enough, then you just have to go to the highest trim, and even then you'll still have to get the available option for even more safety features. Now for the fuel economy, drivetrain, and the engine on the 2022 Volkswagen Taos, you are going to be getting the 1.5 TSI 8-speed automatic with the base model, which is going to be based on your front wheel drive. But with the rest of the trims, it's the same engine, but it's going to be a 7-speed, but you're also going to get all-wheel drive. And for your fuel economy, with the front wheel drive, you're going to get 8.4 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 6.6 liters per 100 kilometers for highway driving. But for the 4Motion, or what's also known as the all-wheel drive, you're going to get 9.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and 7.4 liters per 100 kilometers on highway driving. Now on the interior of the Volkswagen Taos, you do get a nice looking interior which doesn't look boring or dull at all. Plus you have available options to add on to make it even more better. When it comes to the cost of the Taos, here in Canada, it starts off from $26,695 all the way up to $36,695. And again, this is going to depend on the dealer prices, discounts, and whatever else there is. And if you still don't like the Volkswagen Taos, then there may be other options for you, such as the Subaru Crosstrek, Hyundai Kona, Kia Seltos, and even the Honda HR-V. The next one on the list that I keep mentioning for all of the competitors is the 2022 Kia Seltos. And this is Kia's relatively new entry to the crossover SUV segment, but as you can see, it's got the stylish looks, plenty of room, and available with many tech and safety features. Going over the pros and cons of the Kia Seltos, starting with the pros, like I mentioned, there's plenty of cargo and passenger space, plus lots of safety features that are available even starting with the base trim. But for the cons, for many, this may not be the greatest driving experience by the way that it drives, and also some people may even find the interior having too much unnecessary plastic pieces. For the Kia Seltos' fuel economy, drivetrain, and the engine, you are going to be getting your 2-liter engine for most of the trims, and for the highest trim, you are going to get your 1.6 liter turbo engine. And for your fuel economy, this is going to range between 8.2 liters per 100 kilometers all the way up to 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers on city, just depending on the trim that you pick. And it's the same thing that goes for highway driving. It's going to range between 7.1 liters per 100 kilometers to 7.9 liters per 100 kilometers. On the interior of the Kia Seltos, it's more simple, clutter-free, and practical. You'll notice, though it's a subcompact SUV, you have loads of room inside. And when it comes to the cost of the Seltos, here in Canada, this is starting from $23,595 all the way up to $33,195. And you guessed it, this is going to depend on your dealer prices, discounts, and anything else that's going on. And for whatever reason, if you're not a fan of Kia, then you have other options to consider, such as the ones that I listed previously, even the Subaru Crosstrek and the Honda HR-V. Finally, last but not least on the list is the 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross. Now some may say the Corolla Cross may not look as sharp as most of its competitors, but you gotta remember one thing, you do get the peace of mind with Toyotas because their incredible reputation for delivering quality built and reliable vehicles. And for the pros and cons when it comes to the Toyota Corolla Cross, starting with the pros, this can be considered a budget-friendly SUV for many people. And well, since it's a Toyota, you also get some solid fuel economy. Now for the cons when it comes to the Corolla Cross, if you just want the very basic trim, you're not gonna get a whole lot inside, and it's just gonna look very plain. Also, like I was mentioning on the exterior, it's all not that flashy, but that could be a good thing because of the simplistic styling. Also, for the fuel economy, drivetrain, and the engine when it comes to the Corolla Cross, across all of the trims, you do get your 2-liter engine. And for the fuel economy, depending on if you choose the front wheel drive or the all-wheel drive, this is gonna range from 7.3 liters per 100 kilometers to 7.8 liters per 100 kilometers combined city and highway. Now on the interior of the Corolla Cross, you'll notice that it closely resembles the Toyota Corolla. Plus, you're also going to notice a decent amount of interior room for cargo and passengers. As for the pricing on the Toyota Corolla Cross, here in Canada, it starts off from $24,890 all the way up to $28,490. Again, depending on your dealer prices, discounts, and all of that. And if the Toyota Corolla Cross doesn't have the looks that you're looking for, then you can pick from the other competitors that are listed in this video, and two other ones that I did not, which are the Subaru Crosstrek and the Nissan Kicks. Well, that does it for the best subcompact crossover SUVs for 2022. Let me know in the comments down below which one do you like best, or which one is on your list that I did not cover here.